Praise the Lord, everyone. Brother Roop here, continuing in the story of Saul being converted. Ananias was given a vision of the Apostle Paul praying, and praying in secret, which Pharisees seldom did. And he was told to lay hands on him, but Ananias was afraid. But the Lord spoke to him again. And this is what he said in verse 15 of chapter 9 of the book of Acts. But the Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles, and the kings, and the children of Israel. Man, that's quite a statement there. That puts Paul's ministry pretty much in a nutshell. Ananias was afraid, but Jesus just said, Go thy way. Go ahead and go, because I have chosen him. So the King James says chosen vessel. The Aramaic Peshitta says he was an agent. So an agent is a little more clear than chosen vessel. But either way, both say the same thing. Jesus said he has chosen him to do three things. To bear my name before the Gentiles, kings, and the children of Israel. Chosen vessel, that's used before in the New Testament. I think we find it in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 7, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 4. We also find it also in Isaiah 10 5 through 7. Paul is called chosen because Christ had selected him, as he did the other apostles, for his service, to preach his name. To preach before the Gentiles, which might have been a little bit of a shock to Ananias, because at this point, the way, or Christianity, was pretty much a Jewish sect at this point. So Jesus said he's going to preach to the Gentiles, which was probably a little bit of a shock, because Jesus is thinking ahead, and Ananias is probably thinking at the moment. So he preached to the Gentiles, and he did that. Every moment he got, he preached to the Gentiles. Gentiles are anybody who are not Jews. And this was pretty much the principal employment of Paul. He spent his life, and he regarded himself as particularly called to be the apostle to the Gentiles. We read that in Romans 11:13, Romans 15:16, Galatians chapter 2 verse 8. And also the kings. Jesus said he will preach his name to kings. This was fulfilled too in Acts 25:23, and also 26:32 and 27:24, book of Acts. And also to the children of Israel, and that's the Jews. And this was done as well by Paul. And he immediately began to preach to them. Verses 20 and 22. Wherever he went, he preached the gospel first to the Jews, and then to the Gentiles. We see that in Acts chapter 13:46 and 28:17. And that was his pattern. He preached to the Jews first, and then to the Gentiles. And later on, he would be called before kings in judgment, but he preached his name. Thank you.